Hi, what's going on? We're back. What's going on, everyone? So 10.5 has just, or the update, the bonus balance has just went live 7 hours ago, apparently. I thought it was a couple hours ago, but it was 7 hours ago. I saw it on Instagram. I saw one of the devs talking about it, and I was like, oh, let's take a gander at this, shall we? Yeah. We got new skins.
Get the food-based Osiris skin.
That's me. I look so good, don't I? Alright, let's get into this bonus balance. So, straight into items, I guess. What is this?
Damage mitigation cap and stacking rules change.
Interesting.
Okay, damage mitigation from items and from gods will now stack normally in an additive way. Okay, so it's not just 25% in total, so
Oh, so it stacks with each
10%
other.
from 10% from item and 35 god. Okay, so it's
That makes
so I'm
sense.
assuming that the stack damage mitigation from god
So like
base sources have
Osiris
no. Yeah, it says damage mitigation from gods have no cap, but the item from items is
is
25. Okay,
25.
that's a lot better.
25
It
instead of
used
in
to be like
total.
if you
Yeah.
like did a Ravana ult or a Cyrus ult, then like your any mitigation
Wouldn't
items you
stack.
had were just worthless. You
Yeah.
had no passive.
I want to go back
Um,
up here. What is
that's a
this?
lot better though.
Year 10's multi-season structure been sweeping changes. Uh, uh,
It's basically just saying that like what they intend to do.
oh wait.
There's so much change.
10.6 will include sweeping item changes to decrease stat values game-wide with heavier decreases on power, therefore buffing tanks. Interesting. Okay, so apparently this is 10.5 bonus, so very soon, once 10.6 update will come out, there's going to be a bunch of power decreases, which is good, because I know you specifically play tanks a lot, and you just
Yeah,
get
and
fucking shredded.
I have like max defense and then like
Like, why did I just get
10
like
health
two
and then
shot?
no, and then like a Hachiman, or not even Hachiman, just any hunter in general, like their autos still hit me for like 350 in auto.
Yeah, I think they haven't been fixing the power creep
Like not
um
okay.
by
Well,
tanks and shit.
I
So
think Intersect put out a video, and he put it pretty well too, is that they don't really know what they're doing when it comes to tanks like the soul lane. They made it to where they didn't want tanks to be able to withstand a bunch of stuff with the mitigation cap, which they're trying to fix a little bit here now, which I appreciate.
yeah,
So that's it's like, but then they also don't want them to be able to like backline squishies and be able to kill them. So it's like, well, it's one or the other. Like, do you want them to be able to kill squishies, or do you want them to be able to tank? Because right now they kind of can't do either, and they just suck.
yeah.
They can't
Wait,
kill people as fast as they used to, and they also just die super quick. So they're kind of like a very unfun role right now.
yeah.
Even like solo laners like Haddix and Fine OK, and on their streams they've been off rolling just because it's not fun for them.
Wait, so you're telling me that Hi-Rez doesn't know what they're doing? Wait, that's wild. I didn't
Almost
know
like
that.
it just kind of seems like they don't really have an idea as to what they want solo lane to really look like. We know if they want them to be super tanky or for them to be able to actually kill gods.
Yeah,
There's been some times where they would be able to do both, and they want to avoid that because then that's a tank meta. But
right.
then the way they've been doing it now is they've been nerfing both sides of that direction so hard to where they can't do anything essentially.
It always seems to be an issue where tanks are either dog shit or they're fucking broken, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like that's almost, it's actually, that's kind of like a duality between hunters and tanks. It's always like a fucking one or the other, or it seems like.
Damage mitigation cap. There's a little more things. Uh, Effects that increase or decrease enemy god damage or outputs are not capped.
Okay. Yeah, so
Okay. The increased damage taken is negative damage mitigation. Does not counteract the effect by subtraction. The
wait,
25% damage.
where are you at? Oh, right here?
I'm at the bottom. I was reading these last three ones because that
Think-
was just a list off of
Oh,
the
the
patch.
negative damage mitigation is not
Yeah.
counteracted by subtraction. So 25% damage mitigation, 10% increased damage taken. Oh, okay, so okay, that makes sense.
Wait, but that doesn't. Look at the way it's written though. It says increased damage taken is negative damage mitigations and does not counteract the effect by subtraction. Yet they show a subtraction right beneath it.
But increased damage taken is negative damage mitigations, meaning that it counts as reducing damage mitigation and does counteract.
Oh, does. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I thought that doesn't.
And does counteract the effect by subtraction.
Okay,
so
so it is.
yeah.
No, it is subtraction. I thought it was saying it doesn't.
So I guess that makes sense.
So I was confused. I was like, wait.
Yeah. So items. This is decent.
Well, no, that's a good change because the mitigation cap was just overkill. It was already a bad build, to be honest.
Yeah.
They just nerfed into the ground to where they can be tanky. Definitely gonna be building more mitigation items, I suppose. Obviously not a bunch of them in conjunction with each other, but at least one or two would be good.
Well, the only really good mitigation item is the starter item. I always forget names.
Sigil.
Yeah, sigil.
Go up. What's the max on that? Isn't it like 17%? I think they nerfed it though. It should be up there.
Oh, the upgraded?
List. Yeah, it should be up there in the list.
Sigil, the old guard, 12% max.
Yeah, 12%. It used to be 17%.
Yeah.
So now I think it'll be. You can build that plus like a prophetic or a Oni Hunter's Garb, and you'll basically be at the max.
Yeah. Okay, Lotus Sickle. Reducing.
This is fine. I didn't think this was really that big of a. I didn't really think this was an OP item.
It was definitely
niche on certain characters.
It was, yeah, but the niche on the specific characters kind of made fucking like support hell. If support hell built this and support fucking Afro at a lesser extent, but specifically support hell, this was so fucking annoying to go up against from what I heard.
Right.
I guess this is fine. You know, you're only losing what, 5? Oh, so a total of 10. That's total.
That's good. That's
yeah.
That's a 30% buff.
I can't tell you. And then here's a nerf. So I think this is definitely gonna maybe switch some things up. The other cow has been the meta pick, I think, the entire season.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I feel like
buff Arrow.
Yeah, Arrow is just not, unless you're a mage ADC, which is not really in the meta right now. Arrow just doesn't seem like a good item. Even when they were building crit, it wasn't good. So small decrease in power, 107 billion this 99% of the time. Yeah, so hopefully this changes something. I'm kind of tired of Leather Cowl, even though Death's Toll has been known to be in the meta for longer than Leather's Cowl, but because I would want to see.
I'd like to see Arrow back in the meta, although
yeah,
that's a crit item for the most part, unless you go Diamond Arrow. But
I feel like Arrow's only been in the meta like once, and it was like short.
It was short because of the gold. Everybody was building at one point because it had like, I think it was like 7 or 10. It was 10 extra gold per kill.
Yeah.
Which is absurd. Then they nerfed it down to 7, and then I think now it's at 3 or 4.
Right. I remember
Anything having to do with gold gain is disgusting.
I didn't know. Wait, these are all the items? Okay. Interesting.
It just seems like a bonus patch. So.
No, I know, but there was another bonus patch the other day that was like, or 10.4 that had a lot of items, but like, gods, Kern, they're nerfing Kern, damage
5%.
by 5%, and
I think
then
it's warranted. He's a very good.
He's really good.
If anything, though, they should really. I think there's a certain hunter that they need to tackle.
Yeah, I don't. Just one that in particular, not like super important, but you know, ever since Kern got his cripple in his 2, and then they upped his damage in his 3, I think they did some shit to his 1.
So that one, the heavy glaive, isn't that big of a nerf. I feel like, the wild, that's a big nerf actually in his ultimate.
What is it? Oh, 0.5. Oh, damn.
25% decrease to his CC.
Yeah.
That's big.
That is pretty big.
Anything that has to do with CC duration is always a big. I value CC duration buffs and nerfs more than I value damage buffs and nerfs to a degree. It depends if like you double the damage like they did with Hachi, you know.
Yeah. Ooh, spicy Guan Yu nerf.
They buffed this and then now they're.
Oh, they're just reverting it. It just reverted this because it was 3 and then it was 4 or changed it to 4.
I don't know why they changed that in the beginning of season 10.
Decrease boosted max stacks from 4 on 3 of the decrease.
Because you're stealing protections from them and then you're gaining them back, and then if you have your passive up, it's boosted.
Yeah, it just the sentence made it sound weird to me. Decrease boosted max stacks from 4 on 3 of the protection steal. That's not that weird. It was a fucking sentence, I guess.
You're getting like slightly less protections and you don't have as much prot shred, but it's still gonna be on you.
He was on you, though. In solo lane, he was like really good, really good.
He's still gonna be very good,
and he's still gonna be good. He was extremely good in Joust. He's still gonna be good, but they just reverted it. I'm not entirely sure why they to increase it in the beginning, but you know. Hell, we just saw her nerf.
Well, it says the premier mage healer support is quite persistent. I wonder why.
Ever since he changed healing, certain things have, you know, never really left the meta, even after trying to reduce it, like Afro. Decrease the protect. So that's her 2. Or yeah, that's her 2.
Yeah, that's her 2.
Decrease the protection reduction debuff on hinder.
A total.
That's
huge, actually.
That's actually really big. Because of the percentage plus the flat 10. Late. I mean, because early level 1 doesn't matter.
Wait, is that percentage based off of her power?
I don't know.
Pretty sure that's scaling, right? Plus 10% is scaling.
Yeah, it scales off of something, so it's probably power. I can't imagine it's protections.
So you're telling me that if you build like, say, like an 800 power,
so you get 80.
That you get like you get 105 protection debuff in your 2.
Nice. I didn't.
Do you even need any fucking? You just build power on her, huh?
Yeah. What was I gonna say? This is gonna incentivize people not to even upgrade the 2 late game, anyways. So actually, I mean, this will definitely affect late game, but early game, this really doesn't have that much effect, except maybe the 5%. But I still think that's good though. I don't think Hell's gonna not be out of the fucking heal role though. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, here's your favorite god next up.
Oh my god, another nerf. Thank you.
3. Thank you.
Decrease damage returned is healing. So that's the proc after you take damage.
That's the proc after, which is the big part, because you could just 3 take all the damage you want,
and then just get it all back. 52% to 44.
12% difference.
So late game.
That's decent.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty big. Although I still think he's still good.
No, he's still always gonna be good. His kit's very good, but
it's not even his kit. It's it is his kit, but like it's his kit in combination with the items, specifically one fucking item. Spray the regrowth. They just refuse to fucking nerf.
Well, they up the gold. I think they need to change the item itself.
Yeah, upping the gold by like what, 100, 150. Oh no.
It's still the cheapest item in the game.
Yeah. Marty! About time again.
Please cool down. A full second.
1 second.
That's fine. That's not a big nerf, but
death from above. Is his ult? His ult does good damage, but is it his ult that makes him that broken in terms of damage?
I mean, no, he has a very consistent 2-1 combo.
Yeah. Like half hits.
Yeah. I will say his ultimate is kind of disgusting too, because that is because his ultimate has like the prot shred that can get you down to like 50% prots.
No, I know it's really good in terms of damage. But I think
I would definitely say it's his 2-1 combo. His main.
It's his 2-1 combo, and I think his ult first. There's a couple things with his ult that I think are really fucking broken. I started playing him earlier, and I was like, wait a second. There's like no cast time you press your ult and he's automatically CC immune in the sky.
Well, yeah, that's the same thing as Freya.
Yeah, well, Freya was just recently. Wasn't Freya like? Wasn't there like a part?
Freya, so it's like Freya now.
Yeah.
Freya used to like hit the ult when there was about a second to a second and a half to where, like, there was times where I was playing Freya and like I was in the fucking air and I'd die.
Yeah.
It's like you like halfway up into the air, or like up in the air, and then you'd still die before it went off. But now they made it instantaneous. It's the same way at Marty now, where it's instantaneous, which I don't think is that big of a. I think that's fine. I think that his ult lasts too long, if I'm being honest. I
Yeah,
think
that
his
might,
ultimate lasts too long. I think they need to cut the duration down. I don't mind him being CC immune and having invulnerability for the click of a button, although that is very OP. I think his ultimate just lasts too long and it does too much damage for. Because if you can imagine, if you have an ult that you are completely free to use at any time, and also you're invulnerable, it should not last that long and just be free damage. You should like, or to a degree it should be, but at the same time, like, it shouldn't last as long as it does. Because like I've seen people get like 100 to like 10% of their health just from Marty alone,
yeah,
with all the procs being hit. And also he's invulnerable for too long as well. They need to decrease the duration he's in the air for about like a whole second, I'd say.
yeah. I was gonna say that too. For me, I think the issue, in my opinion, is the damage, of course, which they're tackling. Again, this is the second nerf to his ult in terms of damage, and then also, yeah, he's in the sky too long. Although I think in Freya's ult, you can stay in the sky if you don't use all of your ticks or whatever. I don't play Freya too much,
stay in the sky for a decent bit too.
But I don't know. I feel like the cast time for me is so, even for Freya, I feel like it's quicker than Freya's, is it not?
Well, they're roughly the same, I would say.
I don't know. Whenever I played Freya, and then when I'm comparing in my head to Marty, like, I remember several times I'd get Heim ulted, and like the second that I'm spamming my ult, and the second that I come down, I go up into the sky and I'm chilling. There's nothing. I don't need to worry about anything.
It might be because of the animation. Marty, like, I know what you know. I know what you mean because I played Marty too. Marty's ult does feel like you go up in the air faster. I feel like I still think that they're relatively the same. Maybe Marty is a little bit quicker, but I don't think it's a big. I don't think it's like a big thing.
Because my problem is like a get out of jail free card. It's like the best, one of the, if not the best, get out of jail free card. Because most things where you're trying to get out of something takes a few seconds. Like Surtur's ult takes him like, I don't know, like a second and a half to get into the air, and so you have like a couple extra hits you can do. But Marty's just,
I would say the only caveat with that though is that he sort of needs something to that degree. If he doesn't have he doesn't have a movement ability, so he's very vulnerable. So in order to counteract him just being like bad, they needed him to have some sort of get out ability.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, sort of like AMC, he doesn't really have one except his, I guess his one, because he's got speed.
Movement speed. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Marty's a issue for me. I don't think this is gonna tackle too much of it. It's gonna slow down the damage,
he's still
but
gonna be very good. He's still a better version of AMC. Yeah. I think what they also need to do, they need to nerf his passive.
Oh, that's good. His passive is bloated.
His passive, he just gets, what is it, 20, by the end of the game, if you get full stack, it's 25% just lifesteal plus ability lifesteal as well.
Just passive damage too.
That's a lot. You don't even need to build any you don't even need to build healing, and if you do, then it's just like, okay, I basically have a Devos and an Aussie, even though you didn't even build that.
He's kind of bloated. They need to do more, I think, than just this. So it's a good step. Nox nerf. Let me see the reasoning.
Is that her an ult?
Yeah, the decreased damage, debuff ability places on enemies. So it's 10%. So they would take 30% more or 40% more damage. Now it's only 30. Am I trolling, or is this rising up in the SPL support tier list? Okay, so this is just like a targeted nerf towards SPL?
Yeah.
Because
towards like SPL supports, I'd imagine.
Nox is not anything important, I feel. Okay, that's whatever. I don't care about that. It's our cat. Oh, baby. This is needed. So this is our one. Decrease the protection protection reduction debuff from 10% in half. That's pretty good.
Decrease madness duration. Decrease
Ooh.
madness.
Although it may not look like a lot, like he said earlier, any duration to certain abilities is gonna like outweigh damage stuff like this, even though it's good.
And you gotta also remember too that that's gonna be affected by diminishing returns.
Yeah, that too. So if you have like 50% diminishing returns, it's gonna fucking be 0.6% or 0.6 duration. So this is definitely good.
Well, I don't even think it goes. I think it goes from 20 all the way up to 80.
No, I know. I was just using an arbitrary number. If you get 80%, then this is
just.
It's
it's very easy because I'm pretty sure because it's two separate procs. I think it's like the first hit you'll get the 1.4, and then the second tick. I think the second tick will override the first tick, and then it'll be cut in half essentially.
Oh, well, I've heard too.
And then if they've already been CC'd and they say if they're already at 80%, then it's like you're CCing them for like 0.3 of a second.
Yeah. Definitely good. She's destroying the meta. Her literally one shots. Your 2-1 one shots people early game, so late game too.
Thank you.
Last breath.
Big issue.
Oh my god, 10%. Yeah. Good.
Yes. Good.
I don't like being crit at level 5 by all 3 of her ones and just dying. That's so dumb. So
when tier 1 and tier 2 crit items you have crit on them.
Wait, this is actually you're gonna have 0% crit at level 1. That's huge. So
well, no, she used to always have. Am I trolling? No, this is
new.
This is when you level up the ult.
Yeah. So when you get level 1, you have 0% crit, as opposed to the 10%. That's really good.
Oh, I thought you meant by level, like your level. I thought. Okay, never mind.
No.
You meant the leveling up the ult.
Level up the ability. Yeah. That's really good. I like that.
Like that. Yeah.
Ah.
Thank you.
Again, it's almost like the nerf that you guys did earlier was not enough.
This little guy is a giant in the SBL.
Giant everywhere else too, I feel like. He's still disgusting. Sleeping Giant. Decrease power from physical protections from 25 to 20. Yeah.
Decrease the amount of physical power gained from physical protection. You're not getting as much power from physical protections.
And the attack speed.
That's still you're still getting 20%.
Yeah, you're still getting 20%. That's so big.
Increase the amount of attack speed gained from protection.
So it's 10 now from 5.
Honestly, with the build that I was going on him, the power might be significant. I'd imagine the build's probably gonna have like maybe like 15 or 20 less power on it. The attack speed though, I was like reaching the cap, so even if this happens, it'll probably get me down to like 2.3 or something with the same build, so it's not that big of a deal.
No, it's not. I will say though that the small nerfs that he got, or relative nerfs that he got last patch, plus this patch might actually do something more significant now.
Yeah, it might do something because the changes to his shield was actually significant because you can actually burst him down fairly well if like you're actually focusing on him and you have big damage.
Yeah, that was one of the, because I'm, in a couple games I play, I'm like, oh wait, we can just kill him. We don't have to just run away from him anymore. Depending on his build, obviously, but
yeah, it depends. Because if he has a lot of power, then like you gotta remember his ultimate also has 25% physical lifesteal. So there's been times where they've tried to focus me down, and if I'm hitting, I think I told you one time I was like 1v4ing and I had Golden Blade, and I had like the whole build online, all the damage. So they were like, I was healing faster than they can actually kill me because I was hitting because they were hitting me, but I was hitting 4 of them at the same time.
Yeah. Colossal Fury, his ult decreased physical power gained by 10 on each, which is good.
Again, it's basically
small,
just
but
essentially his attack speed is just going to be reduced by maybe like, well, yeah, literally just 5% decrease to his attack speed, which is okay. It's fine. It's not a big nerf. But then his power, I think, normally his power is when like late game, he's not in his ult. Probably reduce his power by like maybe like 20, 25 power potentially.
Yeah.
Um, and then his ultimate also does probably like when he's ulting and he's killing people, he'll have like 30 less power or something like that.
Yeah.
Less attack speed. I mean, it's not significant, but I mean, he just got nerfed last time too, so I'd imagine they don't want to nerf him into the ground. They want to be a
Yeah.
little bit more delicate with him, with anybody that you're double nerfing.
Yeah, I think this is going to make him still viable and good. Obviously, he's not going to be as good, but if you're going to still play him, I still think he's good. I don't think he's dog shit, but
I still think he'll be very good. I still think he's at least A tier.
yeah. I want a good medium with this fucking weird character. He's a very odd character to me in terms of him being in and out of the meta. He's one of those gods that are like, okay, he's just disgusting. We can't do anything. All right, let's run away. And then other times he's just
You want
bad.
my opinion on it? I would say they should increase his cooldowns, especially his ult. I think his ult should have a higher cooldown.
Yeah, actually, a lot of these gods should have a lot higher cooldown. Would actually change a lot of things, like Marty too, specifically.
Because that makes it, because Vamana's base kit is decent, but the main like big thing is like, oh shit, he's ulting.
He's going Mobus mode. We gotta run.
He's Morbin time. Yeah, so his ult should have a very, very large, like I think the guy with the largest cooldown, isn't it Olron?
Yeah.
His ult is on like a 200-second cooldown or something. It's like a relic.
Yeah.
I think Vamana, I don't think it should be that high, but I think I don't know where it is right now. I don't know if it's like 120 seconds or something. I think it should be higher than that.
Yeah, I agree. That's it. All right, so Vamana, Cirquet, good nerfs. Nox, I don't really care. Marty was a good nerf. I think it's good.
I think these are all warranted. These are all very good nerfs.
Yeah, for the most part, those are all nerfs. Some of these, I think most of these are actually kind of targeted towards SPL. Guan Yu SPL, Hell SPL, Nox SPL, Herc SPL, Vamana SPL,
Party SPL, Vamana. Like, these are all SPL.
These are all SPL shit.
Also very good and ranked as well.
Yeah.
I don't think the death's toll is really going to affect hunters all that much.
Really?
I don't think so.
I think early sustain was always the key thing you wanted with death's toll.
No, what I'm talking about, like with the upgrades.
Oh, the upgraded version?
I think Leather's Cowl's upgrades are just better than like Death's Temper and Death's Embrace.
Yeah.
I would say this might help out certain characters in solo lane, maybe like Ama or Bologna.
Yeah.
But then again, I would say they need to buff Death's Toll's upgrades to make it actually viable, because it's good that the beginning item the starter item is better, but it's like, why would I'd rather stick it out. Like if you have like, okay, so if you have like, say, let's just say that like, say Death's Toll now is better as a starter item than Leather's Cowl, but then when late game comes around, Leather's Cowl's upgrades are objectively better than Death's Toll. Which one would you rather have?
Yeah.
I'd rather have the late game better upgraded versions than having a better early game.
Right.
Because when late game inevitably rolls around,
you're gonna be shit on.
You're gonna be like, oh, this is either just lackluster, or I just feel like selling this item because I don't have the better version of the other starter.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that might be more of an impact on solo, especially with the buffs recently to Death's Toll.
It seems like, again, it's one of those things where it's like, this would definitely help out the hunters as well, but I think because they haven't touched the upgrades, I think the Leather's Cowl's upgrades are just better than Death's Toll's upgrades. So I think
that's a good point.
Still going to be prominent. Again, nobody builds Leather's Cowl in solo lane, so this might help out warrior ADCs or warrior auto attack based warriors.
I can see that. Lotus Sickle, whatever, and then this is definitely a good step in the right direction for tanks. But that was pretty small. It was overall, it was pretty good update.
I don't have any negatives about this. Everything seems on point.
Yeah, pretty good. But yeah. So, with that being said, do you have any you have any last words you'd like to tell everyone? Oh. Alright. Yeah, I would have to agree with those statements. But what do you guys think? Do you think what he said was very powerful and awe-inspiring? Let me know in the comment section. With that being said, thank you guys for watching.